Well, everybody, it's finally here, day 30, your final day of April, the final day of this Spring Forward Movement Challenge, and you've done it. You have made it to the end. Whether you made every 30 day happen or if you only made a few here or there, it absolutely doesn't matter. All that matters is that for the month of this month of April, you have moved your body, hopefully more than you would have done had this crazy little challenge not been there. So today is a lovely day to end on. It's a nice stretch. I'm actually going to combine a few mobilizations with some stretching just because I thought, hey, whatever. Enjoy them. Really breathe into them and know that you really deserve to be giving yourself a high five at the end of this challenge. I might round up with a little video tomorrow, but right now I'm just going to crack on with these exercises, and we're actually going to add a little bit of equipment today. I know I said no equipment, but I'm going to change the rules just for the last day. Today I'd like you to find a tennis ball or a ball of some kind. If you don't have a tennis ball, then getting a water bottle, fill it up, that would be great. A smaller one of the sort of 500ml water bottles would be better than the larger one, but whatever you've got, it just needs to be slightly firm underfoot, because we're going to start today's movement challenge with gently rolling the underside of our feet, which is, our poor feet get so neglected. We know we pound through them all day, every day, but rarely do we take the time to stretch them, to mobilize them and give them a little bit of love. So a tennis ball or this baseball in this situation is a really nice way just to mobilize those joints, work through sort of the plantar fascia, which is the fascia that runs on the underside of the foot. That fascia then connects the whole way up the back of the legs into the calves and hamstrings. So actually, if you have any kind of hamstring tension or or calf tension, releasing the underside of the feet can be a really great place to start for releasing some of that tension higher up. So simply, all I want you to do is get a ball, and for 30 seconds on each side, you're just going to roll that ball around, and anywhere that you find little points of icky stickiness and achiness, you're just going to roll the ball in and out and over that. Oh my gosh, I find this incredibly therapeutic. I absolutely love it. A tennis ball is slightly softer than a baseball, obviously. A lacrosse ball can be really great as well. But don't worry about any style or form to it. Just really roll it around wherever it feels good. Apply as much pressure as you want to. You can do this standing up, which is good for engaging the core and balance, or you can always do it sat down in a chair to ease that off as well. But you're going to do 30 seconds of rolling the ball around on each foot, really rolling into the toes, under the pads, into the heel, all around. Oh, it should feel quite dreamy. It will be quite sensitive. Don't be surprised if actually it feels really tender. That's great. That means you're just going to work into that. 30 seconds on each side, please. Then we're going to move on to some sun salutations. So a little bit of immobilization. This is a bit of a yoga sequence. We're not doing a full salutation. We're doing this more for really mobilizing the hamstrings and the calves again. So you're going to take a nice deep breath in as your hands go up. And then as you exhale, you're going to swan dive forward, keeping your back nice and flat. Then relax down once you get to the base. And then you're going to lift halfway up for a flat back. Drop down and then roll all the way up, rolling one vertebrae at a time. Hands up, hands down, and that's it. I'm going to show you from the side so you can see that more clearly. Now that counts as 2, and we're going to do 30, or 15 of the entire move. So breath in, hands go up. Don't let the rib cage pop. Keep that tucked in. Keep those abs contracted as you raise the arms above your shoulders. If your shoulders are too tight, mine are very tight. If you find that your shoulders are just too tight to get them in line with your ears, don't force them back by popping the ribs. Just keep them slightly further in front of you. So deep breath in, arms up ahead, flat back. You're going to swan dive forward. So you're hinging from your hips. Once you get to the point where your hamstrings won't let you hinge anymore, relax the upper body down and then lift into a flat back again, which some of you may be high, you may be up here to get your back flat, But whatever it is, I don't want to see it arching still. I want you to really come up to the point where you can keep that spine nice and straight, relax down, and then come all the way up. Oh, and with this coming up, I want you to really take your time and just imagine almost rolling and stacking one vertebrae on top of the other as you come all the way up, hands up, and back to prayer position. So that would be 2, and then we're going to go up again. Breath in, breath out, fold forward. Breath in, halfway lift. Breath out, fold forward. All the way up. Oh, hello, all the way up. And then down. Go on then, out you go, monkey. So that's your second exercise. We're going to do 15 of those in total. Then we're going to move on to a stretch that's really working through the side body, the diaphragm, really with anything. To stretch the diaphragm, it's all about your breath. When we shallow breathe and we breathe through this upper part of our chest, we're not fully recruiting the diaphragm. The diaphragm is a big, wide muscle made up of several components. And what happens is as it contracts, it sits underneath the ribcage and goes all the way to the back. So it's like a all the way around the body. As it contracts, it drops down, and then as it relaxes, it stretches up. So as we breathe in, the more we recruit and breathe into our lower lungs and through our lower rib cage, the more that diaphragm gets stretched. So when you breathe, really think about your breath filling out all through that lower rib cage. Almost imagine that you've got an elastic band tied around those lower ribs, and as you breathe, you're thinking about expanding that elastic band rather than breathing up into the chest. So when we do this next exercise, I really want you to think about breathing into that lower rib cage, particularly when we go into the twist, because here we're going to combine 2 exercises into one. So we're going to revisit one exercise, which is coming down into this low lunge, to first of all get this left side of the diaphragm, which attaches down into this hip flexor. We're going to take this left arm up and then over to the side. As you're doing that, don't let the rib cage pop. So keep the rib cage tucked, keep that pelvis rolled underneath as you tip over towards that right hand side. You should feel that stretching through the front of the thigh, through that hip flexor, and even up into that diaphragm onto that side. And then we're going to do the breathing. So we're then going to do 15 breaths, really deep breaths into that lower rib cage, holding that pelvis tucked under. Once you've done your 15 breaths there, you're going to take this left elbow in towards that right knee, and you're going to create a prayer position with the hands. So you're going to stack this hand on top, and then you're going to twist your body, and you'll really feel a nice spinal twist there. You're going to twist your body towards that, towards those hands. So if I come this way, you're in that nice lunge position, pelvis is scooped underneath, hand comes here, this one stacks on top, and then you're twisting up and round to try and get those palms in towards the midline of your chest. As you do that, some nice deep breaths, but really still think about those hips lunging forward to stretch through that side body there. And you're going to do another 15 breaths in this pose, which with a twist, taking a deep breath is harder, but that's why it's so good for your diaphragm and so good for your rib cage, mobilizing through those ribs and that spine. So 15 breaths there. So on the other side, we'd be doing the opposite. So right hand up, come into that lunge, don't pop the ribs, keep the ribs tucked, push that bottom forward, tip over towards that left hand side, really feeling that stretch through that side body. 15 breaths there, then right elbow comes in front of the left knee, you stack the hands and you twist that body, really still driving these hips forward to feel that stretch through that front of your body. So that's exercises 2 and 3 rolled into one. The next exercise we're going to do is the thread the needle, but we're going to do the seated version, the standing version. So for this, you may find a little bit of support, holding on to something may be necessary, but if you want to challenge your balance, go for it. So the key is that you pop your ankle onto your top just above your knee, flexing the foot to protect the knee. From this position, hands into a prayer position, and you're going to bend down and you're going to drop your bottom towards the floor. If you can come as low as to get your arms resting on your leg, that is wonderful. And you're going to stay there for 15 breaths or 30 seconds. Now, as I say, you may find that balance is just not happening for you. So you've got two options. You either hold on to something, so you can then really, really sit down and sink down. Now you should be feeling that through that buttock there, pushing this knee down towards the floor. And you're going to hold that there with a bit of stability. Alternatively, you just do the floor version. So you can either do the upright version, comme si, nice straight spine, or you can come onto your back, thread the arms through, hold onto that leg, and pull that knee towards your chest. Whichever one of those works for you, we're just going to work into those glutes a bit, because after jump lunges and the squat jumps and everything else we did yesterday, I have a feeling that those buttocks are going to need a little bit of a stretch out. And then the last one is to really open out the front of the chest. So this is where, if you've got something like a foam roller, wonderful. If not, even just stacking a couple of narrow cushions like this underneath your spine will work. And essentially you're just going to lie on it. So you're going to pop your bottom on one edge of the pillow or foam roller. Another thing is just to roll up a towel or fold up a couple of towels to make a narrow raise. You then lie on your back, head can rest on something, and then you're going to just raise the arms up, drop them overhead, and then draw the elbows round and down, and then you're going to do it all again. So you're doing full circles. Unfortunately this is hitting there a little bit. Let's see if I can move. Okay, so hands are coming up all the way back, dropping out to the side, bending the elbows if needs be. You can keep them straight, and you're going to do 30 of these. If you get to a point where you feel particularly tight in the chest, just pause there for a minute and let the gravity do the work, where it really just stretches through those shoulders. What I would say is, as the arms come up and back, in fact throughout this whole thing, don't let your rib cage lift. It will want to. What I want you to do is think about using your abdomen and using your abs and core to contract, to keep the rib cage pushing down into those pillows, because that's when you're going to really feel that stretch through the front of the body. So if I show you what that looks like, front weights on, your hands are coming up and then they're opening out and all the way down, and then they're coming up and then they're opening all the way out and down. And you're going to do 30 of those, and honestly, this is a beautiful stretch for the front of the body. We're all so rounded, we all sleep so hunched, all of our computers are on our phones, so opening out this chest and opening out the front of the body in this way is just a beautiful, beautiful thing for loving and looking after our poor spines, shoulders, necks, everything. And that's it, guys. That is our 5 lovely Sunday stretches / mobilisations. I hope you've enjoyed them. I hope you've enjoyed some of these exercises. I hope I've given you a few ideas of how you can move your body, and also that you don't have to do loads to feel that you've done something, and that a little bit here and there can actually accumulatively make a massive difference to your strength, to how you feel, to your energy, to your just sort of pride. All these lovely things just come from small little efforts that we make consistently. So well done, you made it to the end. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for being here today to enjoy these Sunday stretches, and I wish you all a very, very lovely summer. I will be back with another challenge of some kind. I'm not sure what yet, I'm not sure when yet. If you have any ideas of the kind of thing you would like to see, so what kind of challenge would you like to do? Would you like it to be a stretch challenge? Would you like it to be a strength challenge? Would you like it to be a